Welcome to another episode of Just Ask Cher Live. And today is such an exciting episode. One, because I'm recognizing in this whole pandemic love, the amount of times I'm repeating my shirts. I mean, come on, how many times do we have to do that in these days? But you know what? That's the reality. That is what it is, my friends. Just like it is what it is when it comes to my timer. So I almost forgot about the timer, and I'm not talking about right now. I'm talking about I had reset the time for a training session that I was doing, and then I forgot to reset it back, and there's all this stuff. Anyways, nothing that concerns you, but what does concern you is my topic for tonight, which is the LinkedIn content double down. So I'm going to hit you with 5 reasons why you need to start considering to double down, if not triple down, on your content on LinkedIn. Because these reasons are pretty hot. I believe it's the perfect storm, the perfect opportunity. I don't care if you're an entrepreneur or if you're a corporate warrior. Now is your time, my friends, and I will tell you why in just a second. And of course, my scroll stopper is going to back up how easy it can be to create content, because let me tell you, this one is pretty basic, to be honest, but it still stopped my thumb. So I'm going to break that down for you tonight. And of course, in Tap That App, 2 Ps, I learned about this new resource to help you create content, so you see a whole theme going on. And this one was pretty cool. I learned it when I was sharing the stage with somebody else, which I'll introduce you to later, and learned about it on the weekend, and I think it's a pretty cool tool. So, welcome, my friends. And of course, I want to know, are you Team Live or Team Replay? Hello, Christopher Martin, Brian, Julie, Liam, Niall, Shadozi, Kamika, Lola, Anthony, Liberty. Hello, my friends. How are you tonight? It is so great to see you guys. And I'm just going to now, I have a chat window up, but sometimes it doesn't show me, when some people are kind of half private, it doesn't show me who they are. So I want to see everybody. I want to be able to talk to everybody. Because this night, I'm telling you guys, this is some really good stuff. A lot of it's just observation, conjecture, if you will. But I see the signs. I feel it in my bones that something is happening, and I'll tell you why. So welcome to all my Team Livers. Thank you guys so much again for joining me. This is, again, another episode of Just Ask Cher Live. So I got a question for you. Before you do that, I would love it, whether you're watching on Facebook, on YouTube, and of course, LinkedIn or Twitter, can I get some love? The emoji love just helps me out as far as letting people know that you watch this. It spreads it out in the feed with algorithmic magic. And who doesn't love magic? I know, I sure love magic. So give me a like, give me a love, support, something. Help a sister out. That's all I'm asking. Is that too much to ask? I don't think so, because I am going to deliver today, okay? So please, please, please. That's all I'm asking. Yeah, a little begging for likes, but hey, a little begging never hurt anybody, right? Just a little. All right. So I have a question. I know this is kind of like a loaded question. It feels kind of loaded to me as I see that graphic. It's like, oh, that's a little bit too much. But I want to know, because I think it's relevant to this conversation. How often do you create content right now? Not how often you were, but I'm talking about right now. 1 is several times a week. 2 is at least weekly. At least sometimes it could be once or twice, but at least you're doing it weekly. 3, a few times a month. 4, for a lot of you might be, I want to start. Or 5, I don't. No, I don't. I'm not going to be creating content. I don't care. Don't worry. You are in a popular crowd. Trust and believe, and I will tell you why in just a second. So definitely let me know, and I'm going to jump into the comments right now just to take a look. Wow, it's already getting very busy in there. This is awesome. So I see Tasha, 1, yes, you are a regular content creator. Geraldine, Team Live. Randall, yes, you are one of my super creators in my network. I see you all the time and all your content and awesomeness in the newsfeed. So I appreciate that. Sorry, guys, I'm looking at my one of 3 monitors. My son jokes around. He calls me Penelope from Criminal Minds because I just have all the monitors everywhere, right? So Naranjan, 2, R.A. Parker, 5, Kim, you're a 1, Robert, you're a 1, Christopher Martin, I just get a heart. I love it. Tasha Jeffries, heart. So 1 heart means one love for content, so several times a week. Tony Taylor, number 1. Lucic, Lucic, you're pretty good. And I see you a lot, several times a week. I saw you on Clubhouse today, by the way. Thanks for hanging out with me there. Bryn, yes, you are definitely a 1. Lola, for sure. Dan, yes, you are rocking it. So that's awesome. And Lucic, did you guys see that hashtag? I'm loving that hashtag, Cher's Fan Club. Appreciate you. Love it. Team love it. Both Calvin and Randall, but Calvin, you get some extra Canadian love coming your way. So I can't wait to see what you tasted in your next post, because you always taste all the good food. Anyways, Lavina, hey, Team Live, and Renee is Team Live. Oh, you guys are just coming through for me tonight. Santa, you're a 4 with a heart. So listen, you ready to start? Well, there is no better time to start than now, okay? And like I said, I really feel like it's the perfect storm to be a content creator on LinkedIn. Yes, sounds crazy, but it is. I know we think about content creation when we think about YouTube, obviously, because they have a monetization strategy, so that makes sense. From YouTube to Instagram, again, you've got influencer opportunities, right? Plus you've got Facebook. Again, the monetization structure is not as robust as YouTube, but they've also been pulling back as well. So outside of monetization structures, we know that people create content to create visibility and interest and opportunity, because visibility plus credibility, so that's through your content, creates opportunity. And opportunity doesn't just necessarily mean brand deals or selling a course. Opportunity could create a position for you in your company that you're already working for. Then all of a sudden you just got a $30,000 bump, $20,000 bump, a new opportunity. That is a pretty good brand deal if you ask me. So I want you guys to open up your minds, whether you're a corporate warrior or an entrepreneur. Either way, today is your day to talk about the double down. So the first thing that I want to bring up, and this is, again, observation, simple observation. Last couple of weeks, I would say the last month and a half, the LinkedIn news feed has been lacking content, that is. I'm not saying there's no content, obviously, that kind of, that's obviously not the case. But what you may notice that you're seeing is more either repeat content. You will see more content that people have liked instead of original content that would usually be coming your way. Interestingly enough, though, this week I did, as of today and yesterday, I've noticed a bit of an uptake, but I'll tell you why I think this is happening. But for the most part, content, new quality, and that's the other piece, quality content production has definitely been down over the last, let's say, month to 2 months. And there's a really hot reason why. And I'll get into that in just a second. So once you're starting to see the newsfeed lacking, and then here's some signs. So again, repetitive content, stuff that you're seeing and you're like, wow, I'm seeing this again because somebody else liked it. Or I'm just seeing it multiple times just because I didn't like it. It's like, okay, LinkedIn, I get it. You want me to see it, right? So there's that. I'm seeing a lot more easy content. So polls or text posts come across. I'm not seeing as much video or content that requires a little bit more thought, energy, and effort. Not to say the other content isn't relevant, because it totally is. But I'm just saying the creator content. That's what I'm talking about specifically. I'm going to open up my water. Yes, I drink bubbly water because I'm fancy. But anyways, so I'm seeing a lot of that. I'm also seeing the lack of, creative content. And let me know if you guys are seeing the same thing, right? Yes, Julie likes that visibility plus credibility equals opportunity. And Orlando says, guilty of not live streaming in a while. Okay, well, now is the time. I like this question. Lola says, what makes quality content? So quality content, it's so subjective. So for me, and again, everybody, quality is different because value is whatever you get value from. So when I say quality, or maybe quality is not the best word, but this is what we're going to go with because my brain's not working any better than what it is right now. But okay, let's say produced. Yes, produced content. Content that requires more effort and energy than making, let's say, writing 4 lines of text in a post, or writing or creating a poll. I'm not saying it doesn't require brain power, but it doesn't require the same brain power as a video, especially when you add in a little bit of editing, maybe a few other accoutrements, or a document, or a blog post, or an audio clip like a podcast or something like that. Just requires, or graphics or anything like that. Just so when I'm saying quality, it again, it is subjective, but I'm talking about the content with more depth. I think that's a fair way to say it. So yes, LinkedIn did crash today. Who noticed that? I see Randall was talking about it. Everybody's LinkedIn crashed. It went down. People were going nuts. Probably not, but they were worried. But it went up rather quickly, so that's okay. All right, so this is the reason why I think a lot of creators, why there's a lot of, or there's a decrease in content. Creators are club hopping right now. So a lot of and here's something you need to know about LinkedIn content creators. Did you know only about 1.15% of the entire LinkedIn network, the entire network of over 700, I believe 730, 750, 750 million people on LinkedIn? We're talking the fact that only 1.15% actually create content. So if the creators, which often are thought leaders, right, are hopping over to Clubhouse, right? They're club hopping. Because one, you don't have to do all this. You don't have to get all fancy, have lighting. You could just go and talk and speak and connect. And it's also a very addictive platform where people are spending an inordinate amount of time in the club, right? And they're seeing a conversion. So they're seeing opportunities. And it's like, new platform. That means I got to go establish myself. So there's a bit of pressure there. So with their attention, right, over somewhere else, it leaves a whole gaping hole because it's so easy to create, well, dare I say, content on Clubhouse, because I could be talking right now and creating content, but the whole thing is it disappears. So there's no legacy to that content, right? There's no legacy to it whatsoever, but there is opportunity for relationships. So the trade-off is real. I'm going to jump into the chat in just a second, but here's the thing that we need to remember as we're thinking about this. So in addition to there being a content hole, there's a whole other side of the network that doesn't even have access to Clubhouse. So all my Android peeps are like, yo, how you laughing at us when we can't even get inside the club? Because they can't, right? They cannot get inside the club right now. So you've got a whole sector of the population on LinkedIn, we'll stay LinkedIn specific, who can't even get into Clubhouse. So they're like, yo, where's my content? What's up? So again, there's a whole bunch of people that are not there on Clubhouse, right? So either they're not, and I would say that the creative class, generally speaking, although I am very much a PC person, I am a Mac peripheral, so my phone and my iPad, but I create on my PC. Anyways, another story for another time. But ultimately, I would say a lot of them don't. So who jumped that in? That 772 million members. Who said that? And then the Android app is coming next month. So it's going to be very interesting when that happens. And there's no legacy on Clubhouse. Exactly, Renee. And Noel said, yeah, 722 million. That is crazy. And Daisy also chimed in with that as well. So when you got 1.15%, you actually want to be part of this 1%. And so you got a whole audience right now who's not on Clubhouse. And here's where things get a little interesting. So LinkedIn has paid a lot of attention to the LinkedIn Clubhouse member relationship, because they realize that a lot of their members are over there because it fosters such a professional community in many rooms that they see the power of that. In fact, LinkedIn level ups, high ups, like Dan Roth, for example, is over there. They're all participating and seeing how this is working and seeing what synergies, especially with events and stuff like that. So LinkedIn is hiring. They just posted it just under a week ago, an official community manager. And what's interesting about this, and this is where you got to lean in to the opportunity here. So let me just look at my notes. So what they want to do with this role is it's to support and grow our content creators with the mission to source, nurture, up-level, and retain these important voices. Y'all see what I'm saying here? They are prioritizing you. They want to retain those voices. How does one do that, I suppose? I'm not sure. But what they continue to say in the application, so that was part of it. That was in part of the job posting. So creators set off incredible ripples, helping others to find their community and develop their own voice. The more people who give and get help, the faster we will grow. So when you see them prioritizing a community manager that's dedicated to creators, what could that possibly mean? One, trying to grow relationships, which is huge, right? So I think that there's a big opportunity. Hey, Ricklin, nice to see you as well. And here are the potential possibilities. So I was reading a great article over on social media today, and they were talking about the potential. This could ultimately mean increasing incentives for users to post and keep posting their updates, right? This could lead to ad opportunities and revenue sharing. So kind of like YouTube, because LinkedIn right now is really pushing their stories feature. So if you're using stories, you'll see that you're going to get an uptake in your views. As well, they're going to start to insert ads in that, right? As well as, again, in the videos. Right now, this is like ad-free video. Like, you don't experience that on Facebook or Instagram or YouTube. They're putting ads everywhere they can. So why not get on that money train, right? And there's another opportunity that we have to consider as well. As people become corporate influencers, which is different from an employee influencer, but kind of same thing. But corporate influencers, so influencers in your industry from a corporate perspective, a B2B influencer, all of a sudden, we may see more brand opportunities and more brand partnerships. So not only with people, especially within the platform. So not only are we going to see companies, especially in the B2B corporate conversation, this corporate community that we have here, we're going to see companies work with employees. So that what I would call an employee influencer, and also industry or corporate influencers. So in that space, and there might be significant opportunities. So I see them coming. And then the final one, so for you guys who are not in the leadership space, this is the other kind of like other storm brewing on the side, is that internal visibility. Right now, the most visibility that most people in the corporate space are getting are on Zoom calls with a limited number of people. But how do you get visible in a space where you're not in a building, being able to, connect and interact with people you wouldn't normally have an interaction with? There's a way through content creation. So don't lose out on that opportunity. So again, I'm seeing the news feed lacking, right? So this is the perfect storm. It's not as, overflowing. This cup is not overflowing with content, right? Creators are club hopping right now. They're over on Clubhouse, getting their feet wet, getting opportunities over there. Android isn't in the club yet, from what we see in the comments. In about a month, They'll be up in the club like everybody else, but then that also might change the community as far as just the onslaught of people. Can the network handle it? And so much more. And then again, LinkedIn's move for an official community manager. And there's another position, or there's another thing that they're doing right now on LinkedIn, is they're creating a creators marketplace. So similar to Fiverr and to Upwork, they are creating a marketplace, which also may signal other opportunities in that space as far as working with brand creators as well. So who knows? Again, those potential possibilities that I talked about, again, those revenue dollars as far as video ad revenue, feed revenue, we'll see what that could possibly lead to. And the fact that they prioritize those relationships, they recognize how important they are. So those are things that we just have to start considering. And then again, that internal visibility play for all of you corporate warriors out there. Get seen, get heard, especially while the news feed is kind of quiet, and that gives you the momentum to move forward. So I'm going to take a sip. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump in these comments because you guys are flying off the chain with them, right? So let me see. David says, you go, girl. Hello to my partner in the club. Hello, how are you? Yes. Patricia's saying, wow, a marketplace. Very interesting. Exactly. Very interesting. So think Fiverr, but on LinkedIn. How cool would that be if you're a freelancer whether you're creating content, whether you're providing services? This is yet another place where they can keep it on the platform. And that would be a huge win. And when I say huge, I mean huge win for LinkedIn. So definitely take that to heart. And so these are a ton of opportunities I really want to see. And then Roderick said, did you mention that LinkedIn is possibly offering a monetized opportunities yesterday? Yes, and I actually mentioned it today too. So with the official community manager, there's a lot of speculation because in the job description of this person that they want to hire, it's about creating and maintaining relationships and with creators on the platform. And then there's a lot of speculation. So this part is not confirmed. The job is confirmed, but the speculation around potential ad revenue when it comes to video content and in stories is a significant play. And how do you keep people around and wanting to create on the platform? You create opportunities to monetize. And then it's the other opportunities to also get seen, get heard. And we don't know how it's all going to work, but we can look at YouTube at least as a model to how this could work. So it's just exciting all around. All right. So I love this question from Kisa. She's like, where should you start? Can you blend original content with links that speak to other articles that speak to your original information? You know what? I am going to create a document that links you to, or a post document, I don't know what it's going to look like yet, that will link you to all of this because you won't be able to find it in here if that's what you're asking for. But as far as where do you start? So you got to start when it comes to creating content. You got to look at what your sweet spot is, where you can give and just continue to give from an information perspective. And then you find your best format that works with you and start there and then remix it into other pieces of content. So for you, for example, if you like doing on camera stuff, then video would be a best format. If you prefer to do a voice only, you can do audiograms or go a little bit further into an extended podcast, or you can create documents. David Breyer is like the king of documents and he's crushing it in that space. So connect with him because you can see how he's been using documents to really set himself apart. So there's a ton of opportunities. DM me if you want to go into some specific questions and we can talk about that. And you will get more visibility to articles. So that's what Daisy Wright is saying. But the articles, it's interesting right now. That's the other feature, the newsletter feature. Oh, how did I forget about that? Thank you, even Daisy. I know you inadvertently reminded me, but a lot more people, that newsletter feature is getting unlocked. They're pushing the creative juices out there. They see the possibility to create content, and that the usage, so year over year usage on LinkedIn as far as people spending more time is increasing, I think by 40%. It was either 30, 40, or 50. But either way, I'm sorry, I wish I had the stat with me. But, I'm not going to claim like I know it when I don't. So that's another thing to consider with. But again, so articles, they're definitely great right now for when people are researching you. They're SEO friendly as well. They don't get as much visibility in the news feed, but if people are subscribed to you, well, that's a whole different story. They elected to see it, right? So yes, Julie says, yes, I have been enjoying David Breyer's documents. So have I, Julie. So have I. Because he's awesome at it, right? So Shante says, this is all good news. I love to write, and I've been more active in writing deeper thought out on comments on posts from others, but you need to do it yourself. You know what I see? Here's a little tip on easy content. So if you wrote a really well thought out comment on somebody else's post, I've done this before. I'll take that comment and then I will remix it and make it relevant to my audience. Just takes a little tweak, probably add a little headline to it, a little tiny post, and share it with your network. You already wrote it. You think everybody's seeing that on that other post of somebody else's? No. Share it again, right? You created it. It's yours to share. Anyways, I got 4 minutes left. Oh my gosh. And I still got lots to talk about. So are you guys excited about this? If you are, right now, some hand clapping would be good, or even some hearts. That would be good, because I'm excited about this. I think that there's opportunity. It's still conjecture, but not really. But yeah. But anyways, I really think that there's an opportunity right now for us to be taking advantage of this. So let's be intentional about this perfect storm and this window to really get that visibility in this news feed that I believe is lacking some content right now. So go ahead, get yours. All right. So coming up next is my scroll stopper. And today's scroll stopper is a really good one, and it speaks to this whole content place. So let's just talk about who it's from. So today's scroll stopper is brought to you by Jackie Hermes, and if you're trying to reach the things I can't see, and that's what she says. She is a SaaS marketer plus growth advisor plus speaker plus investor and founder and CEO of Celity. So I may not have said that right, but Jackie, you are full of awesome when it comes to creating content. And I saw this video show up in my feed, right? So for whatever reason, it just caught my attention. And what's interesting about it is, my friends, it is not even that fancy. It's just a straight on video. Like, you can literally see, and I'll show it. I'll actually play it. No, I don't have enough time to play it for you guys. Okay, guys, already I'm stressed out about my timer. I'm gonna pause it just for a second, I promise. But basically, this is a 29-second video where she is telling everybody. So let's take a look. Let's go into this actually. So basically what she is doing is she is telling people that, listen, friends, this is not hard to do. And I'll go through the post in just a second. You know what? It's 29 seconds. I can do better than that for you guys. So I will actually play the video. So give me a second. And okay, hold on. 1 second, because we want to make it all fancy. You know how I do. Am I going to do it fancy today? Yes, I am. All right, ready? Look at that, fancy.
Stop recreating the wheel. Seriously, knock it off. I know us builders love to build things from scratch. I love to start things from scratch that are all my own. However, when you're trying to move quickly and you're building a company, there's always an easier way to go about it. There's an app that'll get you started. There is a blog that'll tell you how other people have done it. So do your research and start from the easiest position possible. Stop.
All right. So when we think about that, let's take a look here. Let's talk to me for a second. Let's focus on my face for a second. All right. So when we think about that, what we look now is that video. How easy was that to create? Super easy. The message was clear, right? It was basically handheld. Okay. So we look at that video and now let's take a look at what she had to post. Right? So let us do that right now. So what she said is everything does not need to be built from scratch. My advice for anyone starting a new business, and basically everything she said in the video, but you can see, all right, the format matches the message. So it was she's talking about, listen, don't just create, right? There's shortcuts, very simple, easy to do. She used closed captioning, which is really important on this platform as far as when you are using closed captioning, the stats say that your videos will be watched longer. So definitely take advantage of that. And as well, easy to read formatting. So you look at this. This is so easy to read. We know it didn't take long, so let's take a second look here. We know that it didn't take long to put together, but yet with the emojis, the little checkmark emojis where it says stock photos, pre-designed websites, find the templates for materials. So basically she used even the same content that she talked about in her video. She used it in this post, right? So it's motivational. And here's where the win is at the end of the day, because just because something is easy to do doesn't make it good content. Going back to that question around quality content, this was motivational and it was actionable, right? And I think that's incredibly important when we think about that. And then finally, she included a resource. So where it says indiemaker.co, so she included a resource that you can check out. So that's also helpful as well. So when you do all that, what you get is just a fantastic, easy to do post. And if you want to increase your content production, this is exactly why I showed you this one, because you can do it, right? It's just that simple. You just got to put yourself out there. No fancy editing, nothing. Just motivational, actionable, easy to create. And she's even matching the message with the format. Just get out there and do it. Stop waiting. So I hope that was motivational and actionable for you. All right. So coming up next is Tap That App. 2Ps. Keep your mind out the gutter. But anyways, let's take a look. So yes, content, another way of personal care, business style. I love that, Marlise. That sounds awesome. Okay, and Orlando saying, awesome live share. Well, thank you, Orlando. I appreciate that. Time flies when good information is going out. Right, Linda? Oh my gosh. And I try to keep myself to 30 minutes. Okay, I'm going to not put the timer on yet because I want to remind you guys that if you don't want to miss a post from Just As Cher, you got to follow Just As Cher. So make sure you search the hashtag and follow it, because I'm promising you I'm taking my own advice and I'm doubling down on this LinkedIn content game, because I really honestly, guys, I honestly see this is the storm. This is what's happening. Double down, my friends. Double down. All right. So Tap That App, 2Ps. This is what we're talking about today. It is called Also Asked. Also, like questions people also ask. So when you're creating content and you want to find out a different angle that you can share that content with, or to give you some different ideas, you can go to alsoask.com. And here's something really cool. So there's the website, alsoask.com. And you type in your search term, you pick your region. So even if you're thinking regionally, what makes sense? You pick your region, right? And then you get this really cool mind map of the things that people are asking. So what are the best ways to create quality content is what I asked. And I got all these different opportunities there. I know you guys can't read it. That's not the point. But here's the point right now. They have a beta plan. So normally you would get 10 searches for free per month. And it resets every month or you pay for it. But they have a bulk beta plan right now, which gives you 1,000. Yes, I said it. 1,000 searches per month for free. And you can also download, it will keep your history for up to a year, depending on how long the beta test is, I guess. But if you're paying for it, that's what the bulk beta is. And anyways, you can export the data. You can bulk upload search terms. So listen, get in where the getting's good. Another reason why to start creating content. And I found out about this, so shout out to Gilbert Abraham, where I shared a stage with him and he mentioned this as a resource. And of course, my ears are burning when I hear resources. So shout out to him. Thank you so much for sharing that with the community that we were with this weekend. Totally appreciate it. And that's why I got to share it with you guys. It takes community to go around. If you know an app that I should be testing, can you let me know, please? Let me know in the comments. Send me a DM. Let me know. And that, my friends, there, like I was always on time. Yeah, sure. Right? So I'm going to jump in one last time to give you my A's to your Q's, right? And of course, coming up next, before we do that, did you know sharing is caring, right? Did you guys know that? I know, corny. But when you share, it just shows me love. So I appreciate it. That's all I'm saying. That's it. That's it. I'm not begging. Nah, not me. But anyways, I'm going to jump into the comments. But a lot of people are always asking me, well, what's up next? What's coming up next for Just As Share? Next week, I'm going to go deep on going live in 2021 because that is always a hot topic over on Clubhouse. So I'll share what I know now and how things are different now than what they were before. The do's that I'm seeing, what to do and what not to do. I'm going to be sharing that next week. So come join me. Daisy says, yes, learn from this from Dorothy Brown's event. Yes. And that you used it. So you were at the event, right? So exactly. And that's what I'm telling you. Sharing is caring. And I always give credit where credit is due. So make sure you tell me if you have one too. Ricklin, yes, it will be a game changer. So check it out. It will give you amazing ideas or just help you think differently or even reformat some of your content. And I know somebody asked, what's one thing that they could do with their content? First, take an inventory of all the content you've created. What are the reshareable ones? What are the ones that are evergreen? I talked about this on last episode, but look for those and start resharing them. It is an incredible strategy. Watch last week's episode. There's a lot of good stuff in that one. Yes, thank you. Falguni, thank you so much. Lots of insights. I'm glad you guys are getting them. Hey, Whitney, nice to see you. Nadia, simple yet effective. Exactly. That video was absolutely simple yet effective. So guys, coming up next, like I said, next week, we're going to be talking about live. And if you wanted to see back episodes of Just As Share, you can go on to YouTube, search the hashtag Just As Share or search Cher Jones, and you will find me and my channel, and you will see all the episodes. A lot easier to find it than over on LinkedIn sometimes. So that's the place to go. Oh my gosh, my timer is stressing me out. And that's it. So I hope you guys had an incredible learning experience because that's what I want for you. And next week, Tuesday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, same bat time, same bat channel. And of course, I'll be hanging out in the club. I do so every Tuesday in the afternoon from 1 to 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with David Breyer, who's also in the comments, and Andy Foote. And of course, I also hang out with them on Saturday at the same time, and also in the Thought Leadership Branding Club on Fridays and Saturdays as well. So that's where I'm at, but expect more content from me on LinkedIn because that's where it's at. Okay. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will definitely see you on the next episode, and leave any questions you have in the comments and I'll get to them. Thanks a lot. Have a great night. And yeah, that's it. I know. Just like that. Should we fix the timer? Yes. 3, 2, 1. Boom.